is the former chairman of the Giants Community Fund Board. He's the current chair of the Board Alumni Leadership Council for the Community Fund. And he and Doug were our think tank at the very beginning of Masons for Myths. And so please welcome John Loomis.
Thank you, Shirley. Wow, it's so exciting to be here today. And Doug, I'm looking at you. How about that, huh, buddy? But you know, there's been some rumors going around of how this started. Doug's been telling me how it started, but I got to tell you, it's not true. And I'm here to set the record straight for you. And so, I think it was like 13 years ago, Doug and I were talking about what can we do together, the Giants Community Fund and the Masons, what can we do together to help the Masons really create a groundbreaking program that would help kids, and truly help kids, and help the Giants Community Fund continue to do what it does. So I invited Doug to play golf. And how ironic is this, Doug? Tomorrow is the Willie McCovey Golf Tournament, which is the exact same tournament that we played at. So we started talking as we teed off, and as luck would have it, as fate would have it, Doug is the worst golfer you could ever play with. So as a result, while we were constantly looking for his balls, right, over here, every ball he hit was shanked somewhere. So we had a lot of time to talk, because we were always looking for his balls. So at the end of this long day, by the time we got to the 19th hole and actually had a couple of beers together, we had come up with this concept of this Masons for Myths. So we were really excited. So we brought this crazy idea to Sue Peterson, who kind of looked at us, because Sue's the nicest person in the world. And you can tell, like, you guys are kind of wacky. This is never going to happen. So Sue let us give it a try. And sure enough, it happened. And here we are, 12 years later, 13 years later, and we're delivering $1 million. Who would have thought? So with that, I just want to thank all of you for everything you've done to get us to $1 million. I'd like to thank Sue for having the vision and being brave enough to let a couple knuckleheads do something like this. And Doug, my friend, my brother, my buddy, I want to thank you for being such a lousy golfer.
Mission accomplished.
Here's to the next million. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, John. Wonderful leadership. And now I'd like to welcome up a Forever Giant, a community ambassador, and a Willie Mack Award winner. It's my honor to introduce Mr. Dave Dravecki.
Thank you very much. I want to start by sharing a quick story with you. Back in the days of Candlestick, since Sue brought it up, there was an incredible story that took place around my comeback game. And I don't know if any of you remember it or not, but there was a little boy who was battling leukemia, and his mom and dad were looking for bone marrow donors to try and save his life. And so KNBR caught wind of it, and they decided to ask the community of San Francisco to step up and to come alongside this family and to donate money for every pitch I threw in my comeback game. Now you have to understand something. This was my first game back in about 10 and a half months. I had no idea how many pitches I would be able to throw, but I desperately wanted to help this family because it was incredible pressure. Not only were we in a pennant race, but now I have all these people in the city, in the Bay Area, that are donating money for every pitch that I throw. So I went into Roger Craig's office and I sat down and I said, baby, I've never asked this of you before, but I want you to let me go as far as I can today. I want to throw 100 pitches to help this little boy. He looked at me and he said, Dave, I appreciate that, but I want to win. So bottom line was we did win that game, and I went 8 innings and threw 93 pitches. I just want to ask one question. Do you think that would happen today with even a healthy pitcher?
No!
Well, that's another topic for another day. But here's my point, guys. Because I want you to know when I say this, that I appreciate each and every one of you and what you have done in stepping up to the plate to help Junior Giants and this incredible thing called Mason for Mitts, where you have donated over 13 years $1 million and 52,000 plus gloves. Because on that day, over $200,000 was raised to help that little boy find a bone marrow donor, because those parents said they would pay for every person that came forward and donated their blood. Over 7,000 people came forward to donate blood that day. The sad part about that story was that Alex passed away. But I saw his dad a couple of years ago, and he said, Dave, as a result of that blood drive, I've talked to at least a half a dozen people whose family members' lives were saved because of it. So Alex's life had a huge impact. I want you to know that every kid out here that is the recipient of one of these gloves, what you're saying to them is not, here, have a glove and enjoy the game of baseball. What you're saying to them is, I love you. I care about you. And I want to make a difference in your life. And you know what I've discovered, guys? When you do that for people that you know, it's one thing. But when you do it for people you don't know, that's something different. That's something sacred. That's something very special. And I've learned this valuable lesson in life. When we step out in hopes of being a blessing to somebody else, like you were to those kids, what we need to remember and what you need to remember is that the real blessing actually comes back to you because of your generosity towards them. So never forget the power of giving, because it always comes back to us. And then it's an incredible experience, much like what you're having today as you celebrate this incredible milestone. So never forget the significance of who you are in the lives of other people. You know, baseball is a beautiful game, but there's